I feel so odd. Hey, welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back to the circus. And today we're going to be jack-o'-lanterns because you know what, it's that creepy time, Basically, I was sick before. You probably see that in the last few videos. And I'm all healed now. Thank goodness. So grateful for that.
Rise and shine.
Anyways, today, basically, we're going to be rating scary movies. So I'm going to be doing, for some of these, if it's like a series, I'm just going to be like I'm going to say what series I'm talking about. And I'm going to do the series kind of as a whole, but explain them. Some of these are classics, some of them are new. I'm going to be honest with you. If I left something off that probably is like super iconic, like Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th. What?
Big boobs? What?
Or Friday the 13th. Then that more than likely means that I haven't seen it. So, yeah, these are things that I've seen, some old, some new, and let's just get into it. Starting with our first movie, Halloween.
I put my dick in a bag of Doritos.
If you guys don't know what Halloween is the movie where the guy with the mask, his name is Michael Myers, he has the mask on, he has the knife, he's chasing this girl around, it's killing people on Halloween night. It's like a whole thing. He was in a mental asylum, he got out. It's a lot. But, yeah, I would say that movie was pretty good. I would say as far as scariness, it's pretty scary. I'll say as a child, it terrified the hell out of me because I thought somebody was gonna break into the house and like kill me, like at all times. But as far as like older, I still kind of feel that. I still kind of feel that when I watch this, but it's not as terrifying, I would say. But it still is kind of like because it's like realistic, kind of. In some ways, it's kind of realistic, And it's like it's 1 in a million chances that this could happen to you, but the chances are never at 0, So it's like that's terrifying, But yeah, I would say Halloween was a pretty good movie. I really liked it a lot. Of course, it had iconic, Jamie Lee Curtis, stand her forever, queen. They had quite a lot of them. I only saw the first Halloween movie, like the old first one, and then I saw the newest one that came out last year in October. Wait, it wasn't that until October. Last year, like I think October 2018, I saw it like around February 2000. I don't know. I saw it sometime. It's the newest one, with her granddaughter and everything. It was pretty cool. But I honestly, for me, I would rate Halloween a good 6.5 out of 10. It's good, cool movie. It's just for me, it like when I watch it again older, I'm kind of like never in the mood for it. It's not a movie I'm like, oh, I'm about to go back and watch this. Let's go watch this. Let's go do this. Like, no, I'm kind of like, I'd rather just skip it. I've seen it already, type of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was Halloween. Our next movie is Scream.
Hi, who is this?
I'm tryna fuck you. Before I'm tryna fuck you, baby.
This movie was interesting because this movie actually didn't scare me as a kid. It didn't scare me as a kid. It didn't scare me as an adult. It didn't scare me, period. Why? Is because of the mask and because I saw the movie Scary Movie before I saw the movie Scream, which was probably not the best idea. If you've seen the movie Scary Movie, then you guys know that they make fun of all of the movies. They make, that they make fun of all of the horror movies. And basically they made fun of Scream with that mask, like with him smoking weed and then fast changing into these funny faces and stuff like that. So seeing that as a kid and then seeing the actual movie, I was like, I'm not scared of this movie. This movie's kind of like, it was an okay movie. I will say the plot twist at the end was interesting. I wouldn't say it was great, but I wouldn't say it was bad. It was just interesting. It just had me kind of like, But did I kind of see that coming? It's like they tried to really twist you, you know, especially with the fact that it was 2 people. Like, yeah. But yeah, I wasn't really scared of it. And as far as watching it, it was an okay movie. It wasn't great or nothing like that. For me, personally, and you guys probably gonna hate me for this, I would give Scream like a good 5 out of 10, maybe a 4. We're gonna be generous and give it a 5. But yeah, that's Scream. Our next movie is Jaws.
We walk. Hey, yo, where y'all going? Where y'all going?
Why you need to know? All up in my pussy, boy.
Okay, so here's the thing about Jaws. Jaws, I saw it as a kid, and it didn't scare me as much as Piranhas, because I forgot who showed me Jaws. The person that showed me Jaws showed me Piranhas, like, right afterwards, and it was like a back-to-back type thing. Like, oh, watch this and then watch this. And I was just like, okay. So I watched it, and yeah. I mean, it wasn't as scary as Piranhas. Piranhas scared the hell out of me. And it's weird, too, because it's like, Jaws is a giant shark. Piranhas is this and that. But for me, Piranhas is a bunch of little fish. But for me, a giant shark coming at me, and me having a boat, or not even a boat, me being on a floaty or whatever, it's like I can kind of see it coming. I don't know how to really describe it. It's like you can see the Jaws coming. You see this big shark, and it's big.
Ladies and gentlemen, the volume inside of this bus is astronomical.
So it's like ways that you can fight your way out of it, kinda, depending on the situation, or fight around it. With the piranhas, it's hella little piranhas. There's no way out of that one. So, yeah, I was kind of just like, Jaws didn't scare me as much as Piranhas did. It was a pretty good movie, though, I will say that, but it wasn't, like, great. For me, it's kind of like on the same level as Scream. It's enjoyable, but I won't go back to watch it, and also it wasn't scary. Jaws is also a 5 out of 10. So yeah, that's Jaws. Let's move on to the next movie. Our next movie is The Birds.
Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? They said when you got here the whole thing started. Who are you? What are you? Where did you come from?
You want to suck a dick?
So this is the thing. I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably don't know what that is. That's like an older type movie. It's interesting. I have an interesting history with this movie because this movie was shown to me by my grandmother when I was like 4, I think. 4 or 3. I was like real young, and I should not have seen that movie. And it scared the hell out of me. It made me terrified of birds. I was terrified of birds for about a good 4 years of my life. I was just like, I will never in my life go near another bird. If I see a bird, I'm scared, I'm terrified, I'm screaming, I'm crying, type of thing, you know? But as far as the movie The Birds, as a kid, terrifying. The plot, didn't care for it. I was just scared of it as a kid. When I got older and went back and rewatched it, it wasn't really a good movie for me at all. It wasn't a good movie all around. It was actually a pretty bad movie. It was a pretty bad movie, and I'm sorry. I know filmmakers took a lot of time to write, direct, and make this movie, and kudos to you, you know? But I wasn't a fan of it. I actually, like, now I'm older, it's just like, it's kind of boring and it's not scary. But as a kid, terrified the hell out of me. I didn't even know what the story was. I was just scared of it. So yeah, I would say for me, The Birds is probably like, I got a good 3 out of 10. A 3 out of 10. Still watchable. It's not like it's unwatchable, you know? Our next movie is The Grudge.
Somebody lied to her several times and told her that she was fly, hot, and sexy and beautiful, and she's nothing like that. She's nothing of the sort.
Now this one is hella interesting. You guys are probably going to like, probably not like me for this because I've met a lot of people that don't like The Grudge. But this movie scared the hell out. This one, I know I keep saying that. I know it's probably like, oh my gosh, you keep saying that. Yes, I know. But this movie terrified me as a kid. The Grudge was the one that actually shook my soul and had me like, you know, kind of like, no, I don't want to go through that. Yeah, The Grudge was a terrifying movie. And it also was a pretty good story. It was interesting. Now, the interesting thing about The Grudge is I never, ever finished it. I never finished it as a kid and I never finished it as an adult. Every time I get towards the end, for some reason, I never finish this movie. So I'm probably not right for really rating this.
This bitch.
But for me, The Grudge is more so like at a 7 out of 10. A 7, yeah, like a 7 out of 10. Yeah, 7 out of 10. Pretty good movie. I need to finish this movie. I just, even as an adult, it kind of creeps me out. So I don't know if I will. Maybe one day. Our next movie is Mid-sommer.
Today. Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
So, if you guys don't know what Mid-sommer is, Mid-sommer was my introduction to the amazing, talented, beautiful Florence Pugh. Oh, if you guys don't know who Florence Pugh is, she's an amazing actress. I was introduced to her in Mid-sommer, and after that, I saw her in a bunch of other things and went and looked up those movies also to see what else she was in. She's an amazing actress. She's in a great job. She's also going to be Yelena Belova in the new Black Widow movie. I'm so excited to see her in that role, and hopefully she takes over as the new Black Widow. I think she could do that like very great. Mid-sommer was a cult movie. Now that's the interesting thing about that one. I had actually never been a person to go sit down and watch a movie about a cult. That was something I've never really done in my life. And Mid-sommer was the first that I did that with. And it was an experience, honestly. I liked it a lot, actually. It was a really good movie. I went into this movie not knowing what the hell it was about. I went into this movie literally blind. Like, me and my friends were at the movie theater. We were like, really want to watch? I don't know. It's like, Then we saw Mid-sommer right there. It's like, let's go see whatever that is. And then we went to go see it. And I'm like, is this going to be a love movie? Is it a scary movie? Is it a comedy? What is it? Now, when that first scene happened when her... Spoilers. If you don't want to see this, then like skip ahead. But yeah. That first scene happened when her family died. It was jacked up. That was really... Whew, that's when I realized, oh, this is going to be like a thriller or a scary movie or a psychological type movie. And they did not disappoint. The movie was really good. The setup was very good. The build up, all the scenes, the cinematography, the art, the costumes, everything was very amazing to the point they had me like, oh, like, I don't ever want to go to Sweden and experience Midsummer, but I would love to see somebody actually document this in real life. Which is probably kind of scandalous to say, but I mean, you know? But Midsummer was a very amazing movie. I love that movie incredibly much. For me, Midsummer was a 9 out of 10. That was a very much a 9 out of 10 movie. I loved it. It was great. It's fantastic. It creeped me out just the right amount to have me like, whoa. And I watched it as an adult and it still creeped me the hell out to know like this is some real stuff that can actually go on. It's probably going on right now for all we know, you know, somewhere in the world. And it really made you think. It really made you think after the movie. It made you think about a lot, especially about relationships, because it was like a lot going on with the relationship between the girl and the guy in the movie, and just showing that whole dynamic. And it was kind of like a breakup movie and a horror movie all in one. And I liked it. It was really good. It was a very good movie. It was creepy. It was cool. And it was very memorable. I will never forget that movie. So yeah, Midsummer is a 9 out of 10. Our next movie is Us.
Watch closely. You're about to experience a nigga moment.
Us is basically made by the same exact people that made Get Out. Jordan Peele and his production company, I think they are called. Yeah, production company. They made the movie Us. And this movie is basically like a movie about doppelgangers, clones, whatever. It's a horror movie. And it's very interesting. It's real interesting. I went to go see this movie, and my first time around watching it, I liked it a lot. I really, really liked it. But for me, for some reason, the first time I was watching it, the pacing felt off. The pacing felt very odd. other than that, I loved it. I loved the movie a lot. It had me freaked out to see my reflection. It really had me going home, like, you know. So it was it was a very, I'll say it was a very cool movie. I really liked it. It's just that the pacing when I first watched it was off. Now when I watched it the second time, the pacing was perfect. Third time, pacing was perfect again. So I'm like, I don't know what was going on the first time. Maybe I was just a little tired. I don't know. Because I did go like a day after, like not really getting that much sleep. But yeah, it was a very good movie. That movie for me was, I would say a good. That movie for me was a good 8 out of 10, almost a 9, but it's like an 8. And yeah, I mean, I really liked the movie. It was very cool. It had a lot rewatch value also, but I will say that I don't really find myself really thinking of the movie unless like I'm in a conversation where someone's talking about that movie or Get Out. Had me like, this movie was awesome. This movie was fun, but it wasn't that movie. You know what I mean? Yeah, so basically, Us gets an 8 out of 10. Let's go on to the next one. Paranormal Activity.
Just stay back, all right? Just stay right there.
I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Shit, I'm out.
I only seen 3 out of 4 Paranormal Activities. I think there's 4 of them, and I don't like these. These actually, I will say as a kid, they creeped me out when I saw like part 3 when I was younger. Was it 3 or 2? It was one of them that I saw when I was younger, and it creeped me out, and I was not like, ew. But then when I got older and I went back and watched some of them, I was like, I don't like these. These are actually really boring for me. It's interesting because I love the movie A Haunted House, which is a parody of the Paranormal Activity movies. So it's like, why were the movies so boring for me? I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of them. It was a cool idea. I love the idea of it, actually. The idea was amazing. I actually really like the found footage type movies also. Found footage, that's what also, if you guys watch my review of Creep, like that was a found footage type movie. And the reason I found that is because I like found footage type movies. I like movies where it's like the person is, you know, I never used to like them as a kid. When I got older, I really found myself liking a lot of those. They're really cool. There's another one on this list too we're gonna get into. But yeah, I wasn't really a fan of Paranormal Activities. None of them, actually. I didn't like them. For me, honestly, I would give those probably like a good. The Paranormal Activity movies would get a 4 out of 10. Only because, I mean, they're not like completely unwatchable. I wouldn't find myself going to try to watch them at all. But if I was over somebody's house and they're like, oh, let's watch a movie, I'll be like, okay, whatever. And they put this on, and I'll be like, okay, let's watch it. I guess we watching it. That's how I feel about it. I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, no, turn it off. I'll be like, okay. And then that'll be that. So yeah, Paranormal Activity gets a 4 out of 10. It.
I am eternal, child. I am the eater of worlds and of children.
You fucking look like Luther Vandross.
The original series. This is the older one, not the new one. I'm gonna get into the new one in a minute. The old It series. As a kid, I'm gonna tell you one thing. This is what made me terrified of clowns. When I rewatched it as an adult, it was still a very good series. I would say it did a good job in depicting the stories, but it was so cheesy. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. It was just cheesy going back and rewatching it. It still did do a good job with the story back then. It's just that everything in it was cheesy. So for me, the old It series, because it does hold such a special place in my heart, and because it also did terrify the hell out of me, I would actually give it a 7 out of 10. Right, it's right there with The Grudge. It was an interesting movie. Now, as far as the new It series,
Bored in a house and I'm in a house bored. Bored in a house and
that was something crazy to watch. Now, I will say, when I first saw the first one, I was like, whoa, like that shook me for a minute, you know? When I watched like what, 2 years later, a few years later, watched the second one, and then watched both of them at the same time again with my best friend. I wasn't really as scared of it as I was before. I don't know how to really describe it. It didn't like creep me out as much as it did. It kind of had me just like, oh, all right, haha, that's funny, or oh, this is about to happen, or oh, okay. But they were still pretty good movies. They still did a pretty good job with them. I just I didn't like the second one as much as the first one. The second one, for me, felt like the pacing was very much off in many different ways. And also, I feel like we didn't get enough backstory on some characters as they gave to others, and I would have liked a little bit more of that. Yeah, I just really wasn't a fan of that. That wasn't my spiel. Yeah. So I would give the new It series a 6 out of 10. The old one was like a 7. The new one was a 6. Had way better graphics, way more terrifying, but the story wasn't at the same, I would say, type good pacing as the original. It may sound odd. I know a lot of you may not like it that I'm saying this, but I mean, it's, it's my opinion. So yeah. These were all, we went through all the movies that I have on this list. I would have put a lot more, because believe me, I've seen a lot more than just this. But the thing is, I don't want this video to run like way too long. And if you guys like it, let me know. I'll do a part 2. If you like this, give me a like. I'll do a part 2, or put it down in the comments, and also suggest some movies to do in part 2. And if I haven't seen it, maybe I can watch it. Maybe we could do like a review and reaction. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, I really like this. This is very fun to do, actually, to talk about these movies and actually bring them up in my head. Probably not a great idea that I'm doing it before I go to bed, but if you like this video, then give this video a like and subscribe, and yeah, basically join the circus and have an amazing day. And yeah, that'll be all. Signing off.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.